The visuals you are about to see are only illustrative. They were chosen to protect the real identities of the couple behind this story. What you're about to hear is true. A story that proves soulmates can cross decades, loss, and distance, and still find their way back to each other. If you've ever doubted divine timing or wondered if love can really last forever, this story is for you. They were just 12 years old, still learning how to navigate the world. But somehow, without knowing how or why, they had already found their person. This is the incredible real-life soulmate story of Beatrice and Christopher, a couple whose love began in childhood, was separated by circumstances, and reunited in their 60s against all odds. It's a story about time, destiny, spiritual connection, and the kind of love that never truly fades. A love that lives in the soul, not just the memory. If you're someone who believes in fate, in soul contracts, in the power of the universe, stay until the very end, because this story is going to show you what happens when love is written in the stars. Beatrice was a curious, creative young girl growing up in a quiet town in the Midwest. She loved drawing, reading, and had a spark in her eyes that made people stop and notice. Christopher, on the other hand, was shy but thoughtful. He loved fixing things, writing in his journal, and he was the kind of boy who noticed the little things, like how Beatrice always braided her hair on Wednesdays. They met in middle school. Their connection was immediate, not in a dramatic, movie-like way. It was quieter, simpler, but real. They sat next to each other in history class. Lunch, they'd trade snacks. On weekends, they'd ride bikes around the neighborhood, not needing to say much. Just being together was enough. 12 years old, they shared their first kiss. It was awkward, innocent, and unforgettable. They didn't know it then, but their souls already recognized each other. It was love, not the kind you outgrow, but the kind that anchors itself inside your heart. But life has its own timing, and sometimes, even the deepest soul connections are tested by time and distance. Just a year later, everything changed. Christopher's father, a military engineer, was transferred across the country. Within a matter of weeks, the family packed up and moved to another state. There were promises to write, and for a while they did. Beatrice would rush to the mailbox after school, hoping for a letter. Christopher would stay up late, pouring his feelings onto lined paper. But as months passed, the letters slowed. Life started pulling them in different directions. They were only teenagers, and the world was so much bigger than either of them could understand at the time. Eventually, the letters stopped. Beatrice grew up. She went to college, got married, had 2 children. She built a life that was full. A loving husband, a stable home, a deep connection with her kids. She was happy, but every now and then, her mind would drift back to that boy with the gentle eyes. The one who made her heart race before she even knew what love really meant. Christopher also moved on. He fell in love, married, had a long, committed relationship. He raised a family, worked hard, and became a grandfather. But deep in the quiet parts of his heart, Beatrice remained. Quiet presence. A flicker of a memory that never fully faded. For decades, they lived entire lives apart. They experienced joy, pain, loss, and growth, each on their own journey. But the thread that connected them never really snapped, just waited. Then came the turning point. After more than 35 years of marriage, Christopher's wife passed away. It was a difficult period. He felt like the world had shifted beneath his feet. The loneliness was deep, the grief all-consuming. But as the months passed, a strange thing started happening. He began dreaming of Beatrice. Not once, not twice, but frequently. In these dreams, they were back in their hometown, riding bikes, laughing, holding hands like nothing had changed. He couldn't explain why, but he felt pulled toward her. So, one afternoon, with trembling fingers and a heart full of nerves, he searched her name online, and there she was. Beatrice had also lost her husband. She had raised her children, seen them become adults, and was now living a quieter life. She had often wondered about Christopher, where he was, what he had become, whether he still remembered her. So when she saw his message, her heart skipped a beat. Their first phone call lasted over 2 hours. They caught up on everything and nothing. Stories, memories, laughter, even tears. It was as if no time had passed. And yet, an entire lifetime had. They decided to meet. And when they did, when their eyes met after more than 50 years, something clicked back into place. It wasn't nostalgia. It wasn't coincidence. It was alignment. It was soul recognition. Beatrice and Christopher began dating again. In their 60s. Their love wasn't youthful and impulsive like before. It was steady, healing, sacred. They knew pain. They knew loss. But they also knew exactly what they had found. They traveled, they laughed. They held each other through sleepless nights and joyful mornings. They rediscovered their bond, deeper, wiser, and more unbreakable than ever. When asked if they regretted the years they spent apart, Beatrice always answers the same. We weren't lost. We were learning how to love better, so we'd be ready when the time was right. And that's what makes this story so powerful. It shows us that soulmates aren't always meant to walk beside us every step of the way. Sometimes they re-enter our lives when we're finally ready to love them the way they deserve. So if you've ever felt like you missed your chance at true love, if you've ever wondered whether the person you're meant to be with is still out there, this is your sign. And it's also your opportunity. Because right now, you can tap into the energy that brought Beatrice and Christopher back together by discovering your own soulmate story. The Soulmate Story tool is more than just a reading. It taps into your spiritual blueprint to reveal insights about your soulmate connection, and even includes a psychic sketch of what your soulmate may look like. Yes, a visual drawing of the person your soul is calling in. This image helps you align your energy, focus your manifestation, and open your heart to receive that love with greater clarity and ease. It's like giving your soul a mirror, showing you what's coming so you can recognize it when it arrives. Thousands have already experienced powerful shifts in their love life by using it. Now it's your turn. If your heart is ready, if your soul is whispering that someone out there is meant for you, don't wait. Click the link in the description and begin your soulmate story today. Because real love doesn't fade. Wait. And with the right tools, you don't have to wait forever. If this story touched you, please give this video a like, subscribe, and share it with someone who still believes in love. And remember, true soulmates always find their way back, no matter how long it takes.